Alright, here we are. We're doing the electronic speedometer on the foxbody Mustang. As you know, they OEM come with a cable style. Not a big fan of cable style. They break over time. They don't deal well with recalibration due to different rear ends and stuff like that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You have to buy little special gears and all that, and it's kind of polishing a turd at that point. So our idea is to run a electronic speedometer. This is out of a Kia or a Hyundai SUV, one of those Sportages, the tiny ones. Yeah, we're placing this behind the OEM cluster. Yeah, you can see it there. I've had to drill 2 holes for the mounting for this to that, and we had to open up the hole for the tripometer. It is going to say on this one, it says, you know, RIP set, but on the aftermarket gauge sticker pack, which is a real pain in the ass to get if you want metric and you want OEM looking. You can buy the metric in the white face, but that looks real dumb. We got these from, I believe, E-Gauges. Give me a second here. Yeah, it was about 20 bucks Canadian. Pretty cheap. We're using the Kia one because it has the reset in the same spot as the Mustang. You know, it has that little square knob that goes to the circular knob on the clear plastic cover. So this one can still work, and we have to cut it down so the plastic knob, when you push it in, is still hitting that. It's going to have to be recalibrated because the sweeps are different. This goes to 0 to 200, and the OEM one, wherever I put the face, I can't find it now. Ah, there it is. It goes to 200, and if you're worried that these are different angles, it's still the same degree of measurement. So the needle will just be offset, so it's 0 on the sticker pack here. So in the Mustang, it'll, you know, still max out there, but essentially it'd be offset to where it normally would be on this car. So yeah, we're going to keep going on, and I'll show you how it finishes up, hopefully, at some point. Alright, so now we got the cluster assembled. It's hard to read because of the reflection, but you can see the mileage there, and we've got this kind of frayed, so it's just pulsing the ground, and we'll just... So there you go. Yeah, that's it working. And you have your oops. Here, I gotta hold it nicely. It'll be supported once it's on the cluster, but you have your trip A, your trip B, and then back to that. So yeah, there you go. It's in. This is not lit up. Usually in the Kia and most newer cars, it's backlit, or the whole gauge is lit. And this, the lighting comes from around the surround. So yeah, there it is. If I were to do it next time, I would, before I put this cluster, I'd probably put some tape behind where the odometer normally goes, and then maybe skim some Bondo or something. So when you put this, and sand it down flush. So when you put this this sticker on, it doesn't indent in. So out of risk of tearing it, I decided just to leave it as is. I put some aluminum tape on the back side to hopefully reinforce it from tearing, and then I overlaid the Kia face, which has the stopper right there, which was kind of a bad idea because you got to remember it's on like this, not like this. So that's why there's that hole there, and then I had to re-drill it there, so it'll always 0 when it hits that. So yeah. Alright, so now here's the final step in the gauge install. You basically have to drill out and disassemble the whole tumbler, or not tumbler, but odometer setup. And I made these little brackets. I had to clearance this one a little bit. If I did it again, I'd probably do them different. I'd probably shoot them straight down and then over, like a 90 degree instead of 45ing it, because then you do have to mill that out a little bit. The main problem is that this being aluminum and the other one being steel, you just can't simply tack on a piece. And this seemed the easiest to do, but required a bit of work later. But yeah, no, it bolts in flat, and that's kind of the final step of making your own electronic speedometer for your foxbody Mustang, or kind of any car for the most part. The big things you need to look out for is where the tripometer is and the odometer is and the reset is. If your car comes with like a remote button, then you're set. You can, find any and just bypass the switch, because as you can see, this selector just goes around and just pushes a button, so you could just desolder that button and put your switch anywhere else. Yeah, this is how I did mine. You might do yours different, and it might be better. Well, here it is with the lights off. We got it. You can see the hole that I drilled by accident for the stopper. All the lights work. As you can see, it's, like most Mustangs, somewhat dim, but it's in there. It looks better in here we go. Now in ambient light, you can see it a little bit better. The shop light. So yeah, there we are. They're installed. You'll notice the tripometer hole's gone, and what I had to do to get that to work was a huge fucking pain in the ass, because I actually had to take the plastic off a spare one and cut her in half. So I'm not sure where the other half went, but yeah, that usually goes there. So I cut, there we go. So yeah, you can see what I had to do is I had to cut it down the center and then readhesive the cover plate on, so that I would have the blank where the tack is on this side. Or I would have a weird hole, and this hole actually kind of lines up right where the odometer is, so it makes it really hard to see, because it's raised up. So yeah, I had to that's what I had to do. And worst case, I'll because it is just a two-position switch, or one position, yeah, two-position switch, I'll just run some wires to a button anywhere, really. You could mount it up here or whatever. But yeah, there you go. That's electronic speedometer mounted. That's the more pain in the ass side of this project. The easier part now is just going to buy the Dakota digital speedo recalibrator and wire that in. So yeah, talk to you guys later.